Welcome back. It's another day, another couple days actually, and we are going to try to get the pieces welded in to the chassis, particularly these pieces here. If it'll focus on them, I don't think it will. Got them prepped, got the fuel tank out. I didn't record myself taking the fuel tank out. It wasn't too bad. There's like a 3-minute video on YouTube of a guy explaining exactly what you need to do. Just a couple hoses, some here and there stuff, nothing too crazy. So today we're going to do some welding, some grinding, and try to get all this stuff sorted. That way we can put this subframe back in and get everything back together so we can continue to move on. This has taken a very long time, but that's okay. These type of builds, that kind of stuff happens. You know, it's an old car, it's a rusty car. I mean, this is definitely not going to be the end of it, so I wouldn't be surprised if the front takes this long. I really hope it does not, but it is what it is. So we're going to try to get it ready for this year. Now, if you guys don't remember, this is a $4,000 budget build. E36, $4,000. We're going to try to get it ready in 2 months. Now, this thing's a little rough. We're already probably 3 weeks into actually building this thing. I don't know if there's any drift events that are open in the next month or two, but we'd like to get it rolling. We got a lot of things to do this year, a lot of projects, a lot of project cars. So without further ado, let's show you what we got going on here. Remember, we got these pieces here. I'll climb under this car and show you what I did. So before, we had a bolt broken off here, and what I did is I drilled it out, and I got this slug here, and it's just gonna fit in just like that. We're gonna clean everything up and weld it in, and then we're gonna obviously have to space these just a little bit. I did take the fuel tank out of this thing already. It wasn't too hard. It was about a 3-minute video on how to take the tank out. Not a big deal. But the reason I didn't videotape it is I kind of did it on a whim. I didn't know that I was going to take the fuel tank out at that time. I just ended up doing it. So, and I needed to order some stuff. So let's go ahead and get under this car and get this thing looked at, cleaned up, and get ready to start welding. As you see, we got this bracket in. So I got brand new bolts here, OE bolts. I believe I ordered from FCP Euro. Got these bolts in, and then I got this slug here. I'm gonna tighten this up and just go ahead and tack weld it. Probably do a little bit more than tack welding, put some pressure on it. And then from there, I'll be able to weld by 3/4 around this thing. And then it'll be done. So there is a little bit more space here. Had to space these other 2 bolts to match. But like I said, I've never done this before. This is all new to me. I'm sure it's going to change something geometry-wise for the like toe or something like that for the rear end here. But we'll just see how it drives when we're done, and we'll just kind of go from there. So we'll go ahead and put you back in the time lapse and get the welder out and go ahead and buzz that. We got it. Got the inserts welded in. I welded about 3/4 way around, not full way around, but honestly, they're more solid than the OEM ones that were in there. Looked like the washer was only like half welded from the get-go. So let me show you what we got going on now with the pieces in there and the bolt just kind of hanging. And there it is. Spaced out. This bolt here is in there. Just leave it in there so I can make sure the threads are good, but not bad. all the bolts in. Trailing arm pockets are in, as well as that side. See that over there? Those are in as well. I am super happy. I've been dreading this for a week, 2 weeks really. Since I broke them, I've been dreading it. So it's awesome that they're finally up in the car. I can finally start putting the subframe in. Yes. Man, I really hope I don't break any more bolts like that. But hopefully that shows you guys what you can do. If you break a bolt in your chassis, you can do something similar or replace the whole pocket. I think this had the least amount of work. Had about probably 2 hours of drilling, which is insane. 2 hours of drilling these things out. Now we're just waiting 30 minutes after I get done welding here. So 30 minutes to make sure nothing's gonna catch fire, double check. You should always wait 30 minutes after you grind, cut, grind, weld, any of that stuff. 30 minutes. Fires happen when you're not there. So just hang out, it's a little bit of peace of mind. This is what I worked my whole life to get, so I would be really unfortunate to start over. Just want to go over some of the new stuff we got. Start to put this whole deal back together here. And these are parts that we are replacing. So these are adjustable. These adjust camber. Super simple stuff. It's gonna go on this bottom hole here, just kind of under there. You'll see once we get stuff rolling. Now I did try to put this in pieces, but then I quickly realized that I can't even get to the back of these nuts or put the bolts in for the links while it's under the car, so I had to take it back out. So we're gonna build it out here, which is gonna suck because I'm just one guy. Build it out here and then try to put it up under and bolt it up. So we'll see how it goes, but back to the time lapse. Look at us go. Subframe is in. The links are on. It's an aftermarket link there. Gonna get these boys on here, tightened up. Get ready to put this rear trailing arm in. But we're gonna go over something else that we have that I have not showed just yet. And here they are. Nothing but the best max speeding ride coilovers. Now, in all seriousness, obviously these aren't the best coilovers. If you haven't been living under a rock, you know these are actually relatively cheap. I think I got maybe $380, $400 in these coilovers, which is nothing, all right? I have more actually in the fronts of my other drift car before the top hats and the spring ring change. So doing a nice set of like BCs or any other high-end brand coilover really isn't going to help us with this build. Remember, this is a budget build, so we're trying to cut costs everywhere we can, just so we get some seat time. So we're going to go ahead and hook up these coilovers for the rear. That way we can get the trailing arm in, and we could go ahead and get this thing ready to set on the ground. The diff is in. It's kind of a struggle. I just kind of lifted it up in there, but I couldn't find my bolts at first. So make sure you have your bolts on deck. But diff is in. We're gonna go ahead and get the CVs in while there's no arms in the way. I just think it'll be easier. I could be wrong. We're gonna find out together. So let me show you what we got going on with our new CVs and our new spacers. All right, as far as our new CVs go, these are medium case. Remember, we switched from a small case to a medium case diff. So these are medium case CVs, and these are spacers. So these are to take up the play, the in play, the front and back play that are factory in these. We'll go over what all these parts cost eventually, but comes with these, 2 of these, and extended bolts. So let's go ahead and switch to the other camera and get this stuff rolling. All right, guys, I was getting discouraged, but check this out. This looks sick. Now these are off my SC. These are 5x114.3 wheels, and they're on a BMW. Nice. And we got, kind of peek under here real quick. Got our links in, our diff in, our CV in, all for this side. It's time to work on that side. But I'm so excited. I cannot even explain how frustrating this has been. Someone, like I said, I work on cars all the time. This is just run-of-the-mill, normal stuff. But for whatever reason, when it's my own car, I cannot stand it. I'll work on your car all day, though, right? My car, But we got one side together. We're on the way to getting this thing on the ground today. Coilovers in, everything like that. Now, we don't have everything finalized torqued. I have to look up all the torque specs. That way I can finalize everything. But that's fine. We're gonna keep working towards getting this thing on the ground. We're gonna go ahead and try to put this other side together and see what it looks like. So let's do it. And just like that, we're almost ready to get this thing on the ground. That would be, we still have some things loose, right? Still to get some torque specs for some things, but we're looking good. The medium case diff is in. It's a 391, so that's in and ready to go, welded. We have the bushings, subframe bushings, diff bushings. Those are all in, and the diff's in, of course. New trailing arm R-tab bushings. We fixed the R-tab mounts. We got the new camber link in and camber link bushing in. We got the new wheel bearings, the 5x114.3 conversion. Coilover, they're in. We're doing great. I'm real excited. This has been a nightmare. Now I wanted to show you a thing you're gonna have to do when you do the 5x114.3 conversion, and this kit right here. So this kit right here, it'll be in the special tools for this build. And what it is you got this plate, and this is a template for the conversion for the rotors, because right now I don't have any rotors on there. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll show you what you do. So you put this on here, you put the stock bolts in, and then this right here is a punch. Just gonna focus on this. Will not focus on this. This is a punch, and you're gonna go ahead and punch these holes and drill them. That way they'll go on the new hub. So I realize these are the old rotors and they will be replaced. I have major plans to replace these rotors, but as of right now, I want to make sure this thing sits on the ground and everything works out okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill these out, slap them on there, slap some wheels on there, and then lower it so it'll at least be able to roll. So let's get after that. I'm excited. For the first time in a couple weeks, this thing is on its own on the rear. Check out this fitment, man. Sick. We'll walk around the other side. Get you like a side shot. Sick. Now, all the camber's gonna have to come out. But I don't have rolled fenders yet. Well, I have something for the fenders, but look at that. So sick. I'm so excited, guys. E36 starting to look cool for once. So sweet. That front looks real weak in comparison. Imagine that, right? All right, obviously we have a lot of things to tighten up still, but this is good. At least it rolls. It seems a little bound up when I shake it. I don't know. I'm sure it's due to all the loose stuff I got. That's okay, like I said, it rolls. We're gonna start working on the front, and because we're gonna eventually have to roll this thing out when we pull the motor. Now, as far as new parts, this is what we're looking like. New control arms, tie rods, angle kit pieces are all in the bag. The other half of the max speeding rod coilovers. And these conversion hubs I have my buddy at his machine shop take care of for me. He said we may sell those. We'll see how these go. So I'm gonna set the other camera up, hit you guys with a time lapse, and get this front end apart. Hopefully it goes apart smoothly. Cross my fingers. All right, got the front apart. Let's show you what we did, how we took it apart, because it was all on time lapse, so it was kind of hard to see. So, for starters, you got this big bolt here. You have to get this from top. This goes through the subframe, I believe. This one here, lower ball joint. You got the tie rod, you got the sway bar end links. Lollipop. So this is just 2 bolts on the chassis. Of course, this is our knuckle. And our knuckle, we have the brake caliper bolts. Gotta see which way this is facing. I think it faces like that. Okay. So these are probably the brake caliper bolts. This is for the strut. These 2 are also for the strut. So actually we'll look at this coilover here. So 2 and 1 for the strut. That's where they go over there. So now we're gonna go ahead and prep the angle kit. It's kind of difficult to figure out how to do it. I'm gonna have to look up some things. There's no real instructions, but we're gonna get these bolts in the angle kit and start putting the angle kit together, as well as the coilover. So let's go ahead and do that. This here is the new angle kit setup. So some people call this the SL Pour kit, which I like. It's just a fake SLR kit. So big tubular control arm. This is a brand new tie rod. I think they're like 15 bucks on Rock Auto. Adjustable tie rod, knuckle adapter for the knuckle. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll probably put this coilover in first. That way we have something to tie it all down to. But yeah, sick. I'm pretty excited about that. So let's go ahead and get it in. All right, and this is what it looks like on. Pretty sweet, to be honest with you. It's kind of a pain. It's a pain to get that bolt right there back in. It is kind of tight, which is a good thing, I guess, right? SL Pour kit. I'm super excited. I'm gonna work on getting the hub on next. That way we can put the wheel on and we can see just how much difference right side versus left side, angle kit versus stock. So let's go ahead and get that wheel bearing on, get everything tightened up, and then we'll put the wheel on and check that out. I'm super excited, guys. I told you I have a brain that might as well be a rock or a breadstick. It's little things that get me excited. So I finally fitted the front wheel on. We have the coilover, the angle kit on. Everything's mocked up, still loose, but mocked up. Let's take a look at this thing. This thing is looking sweet. I'm so excited. I don't mind the mess. Work on stuff with the mess. Fitment's kind of aggressive. We got a fix for that. Check out this angle. See if I can one hand move this. Look at that. Beautiful. Got a fake SLR kit. Not bad. Now, just for shits, we'll show you the other side. Full lock. This, of course, this is not adjusted. Factory, full lock. All right, factory this way. Come back up here. Look at that. There we go. Looks like I'm hitting the coilover. It will need a spacer if I'm going to run these wheels. I don't plan on running these wheels. But let's see right there. It looks like we're hitting. Oh yeah. Definitely hitting. But sick. Super excited. All right, everybody. This thing looks sick. Finally got the other side done, driver's side done. We have it on the ground under its own weight, which is amazing. So, especially because, I mean, the front's not even done. I need to drill the rotor still, order the brake lines, same for the rear, gotta order the brake lines for the rear, and do some other things. But it didn't take me 3 weeks to do the front like it did for the rear when we broke all the bolts and all the nonsense. It's all been done in one day, which is crazy. So let me show you what we got going on. I'm excited. Now you've seen the rear. 18s on the E36, man, looks good. Tell you what, but then the front. So the front here, it's on the ground. It's real tight though, right? We'll fix that. We got the other side. Of course, everything's a mess. You know, I like working in a mess. Oh yeah, dude. That is sick. Now these are pretty big wheels. I had to put a spacer on them, a 1/4 inch in the front because they were hitting the coilover. I do believe these wheels are 18 by 10.5 plus 22. So hopefully my other set of wheels, I don't have to run the spacer, but we'll see how it goes. I might have to run the spacer regardless. But man, I am over the moon about this. Super stoked. Thank you for watching. This was episode 5, I believe, of the E36 budget build. So remember, we got 2 months, $4,000. We're gonna try to look cool while we're doing it, so we'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Peace.